Welcome to LFFL Prime Time. What to watch for tonight? Of course, what you're watching for is the Miami Dolphins to take to the victory locker room. But the reality is, we do have some things to decide. Got some playoff positions to firm up this evening. So let's talk through those scenarios, shall we? Josh, a 30-point lead over Miles. This is big. Miles is currently in playoff position. Not likely to fall out with a loss, but certainly a win helps the cause tremendously. Has Derrick Henry and A.J. Dillon try to overcome that? Maybe. I mean, maybe. Aaron Jones is coming back. Henry's got a tough matchup. We'll see what happens. Andy has already beaten Greg. So Greg has not already beaten him. I'm sorry. There is a chance here. Andy 166 with Jaden Reed. Greg 105 with DeAndre Hopkins. Greg can't come back. Greg is likely to be the team that misses the playoffs in this little scenario here. His point scored is the worst of all the teams competing. And of course, losing by this many points doesn't help. I have a 140-105 lead on Matt. I have Chan and I have the Dolphins defense. Matt has Jalen Waddle still to go. I look good for the win here. The winner of this game very likely is in the playoffs, and that winner obviously looks like me. Phil, 89 with Raheem Mostert, Eric, 74 with Tua, and Saquon and Tyreek. Irrelevant game because if you look down below, these are the two bye week teams. Bill has already beaten Todd this week. Bill has played his way into the playoffs. Congratulations to Bill. Your playoff teams, as I said, Eric and Phil will be your bye weeks. Andy will be your 3 seed. Then the last 3 spots are kind of still up for grabs. Bill definitely gets one of them. The winner of Matt versus Casey is going to have one of them also. Miles very likely to be the other team in because his point score is significantly better than Greg's. If Miles wins, he's a full game better than Bill, Matt, and I, which means he'd be the 4 seed. If he loses, he drops all the way down to the 6th seed because Matt, Bill, and myself all have scored more points than him on the season. But Miles certainly looks good to be in over Greg because he has outscored him by a fair amount. It would take a massive, massive game from DeAndre Hopkins for Greg to catch up. So that is your playoff picture in the original league. LFFL, not much to talk about here. Of course, Andy blowing this league out. Andy has 46 with Roaster and Tyreek Hill. Phil has 39 with DeAndre Hopkins. That looks like it might very well be another Andy win this week. The Merrills have 45 with a host of Dolphins and Derrick Henry. Miles 36 with Chig and the Packers defense. And then finally, I have 40 with Saquon and the Dolphins defense. Bill with 32 and Jaden Reed. Eric has already won this week, putting a little bit of pressure on Andy to go ahead and get a win in this one. And Greg has beaten Todd. LFFL 3, whoa, we've got a lot going on here. You can tell from my bottom line, there's a lot of writing in this league. Eric is currently up 19 on Phil. Phil has Saquon Barkley left. Phil came into the week with the worst of all the playoff teams. He had kind of the hardest road to get there facing Eric. He has the worst points scored of all the playoff kind of fringe teams there. He's got a chance right now. If he can go get this W, he absolutely has a chance to make the playoffs this evening. Matt Merrill, 65 with Derrick Henry and Eric Jones. Bill, 62 with A.J. Dillon. Bill could very well need this win before the night is over, especially if Phil wins. Bill really needs to win this game. Not looking super great right at the moment, but it is only a 3-point game. I have 71 points with Jalen Waddle on the Dolphins defense. Sean has 22. He has 2 with Tyreek and Chig. Andy, 66, Nate, 24. Nate does have 2 players tonight. Winners already. Greg has beaten Matt. Brennan. Miles have beaten Todd. Both these games are important. Greg and Todd were your 2 teams in bye week positions. Greg's win means he will get one of the bye weeks. Todd's loss means he likely will not. If Eric or I win, we can take that bye week away from Todd. Eric will have priority over me in a win because he outscored me in points scored. Those 4 teams are firm in the playoffs. Miles, his win has locked in a playoff spot for him. That leaves only 1 spot left for Bill, Phil, Matt, Brennan. The pecking order right now, Bill is the highest in this pecking order. Bill simply wins. He has significantly more points scored than Phil. He will be in the playoffs. If Bill loses and Phil wins, Phil is your playoff team. Should Bill and Phil both lose tonight and get down there in a tie with Matt Brennan is currently leading in points scored by 2 points over Bill. So if Bill loses and Phil loses, but A.J. Dillon scores 3 points tonight, Bill would be your playoff team. If none of those things happen, Matt Brennan technically still has a chance to make these playoffs. So got a lot going on tonight. Should be an interesting mix of events. Obviously, I think the scenario most likely playoff team is Bill, but stranger things have happened. All right, LFFL 4, congratulations to me on my second showdown win of the season, and 83.65. I don't know how many scored that many points in that crappy game. Miles, just a point off in second place. Jeremy comes in third place. For the season, I have a slight lead over Eric, and Greg's in third. LFFL 5, your semifinals actually should say week 2. We're up to already. Week 2 of 3. Sean with a nice 50-point lead over Greg. Still has Tua tonight. Greg has Tyreek Hill tonight. Phil and I, not much separation here. A 1-point difference. Phil has a defender this evening, and I'm bringing Saquon Barkley and Jalen Waddle to the party. LFFL 7, we are going to have a winner. My nephew Thomas is going to win this league. Nate is done. And Nate is significantly behind Thomas already. And Thomas has a host of Miami Dolphins. Probably because if he missed a pick, I might just pick him as my favorite Dolphin. I'm kidding, of course. Thomas has a host of Miami Dolphins on that team. He will win this league. And finally, in the LFFL 9, Bill and I, a rather close opening week here of our 3-week Battle Royal. Bill, you forgot to make a move. Send me a move if you want one. I just realized that when I was going through it. I have a 12-point lead. I do have some Miami Dolphins going tonight. Bill has a couple Miami Dolphins going tonight as well. I believe he's got both the Dolphin wide receivers. Bill has more room for growth tonight in terms of scores going away, but I have more players. So we'll see who gets that done. That's all I got for today. Good luck to all of you fighting for those final few remaining playoff spots. I wish you success, whether this league or the other league, and we'll talk to you tomorrow with a full update.